Welcome, Afro Whale. It's good to see you in here. I'm guessing this is the first time you've actually uh, been in the chat. Yeah, it is totally okay if you want to watch your version. I will help you try to get queued up with the one that I'm using, which actually I can tell you right now if you want to try to get your version pretty close to what I've got, because I'm using the YouTube version. I'm like in the fade in where it's getting ready to show like something partners. Um, it's kind of blurry right now, but it's gonna clear up whenever I start this. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Um, let's see. But yeah, nobody necessarily has to use the links if I put them up. If you have your own copy and you want to use the copy you've got and just try your best to get queued up, um, then that totally works for me. But I always try to find at least a link for it for those people that don't have a physical copy. And to to be honest, totally honest, I'm too lazy to get all my equipment set up generally unless I have to. So I usually go by whatever link I can find too. Uh, hey, Texas. So yeah, and I usually Afro well, I usually do these every Saturday. But Steve and I had been in discussions that he wanted me to spend more time with him, which is, understandable instead of coming back here every Saturday night and doing a watch along. Well, we didn't really get to spend any time together. I'm not going to go into all the details of why we didn't get to spend any time together watching movies or what have you, but we didn't. So that kind of was a bust. We also didn't do a commentary, which was also a bust. Um, but um, I thought since usually on Sundays, the first Sunday of the month, I usually give you guys a bonus one anyway. And so I had talked about doing one for popcorn, because I believe Darren, well, he said me mentioning popcorn was making him want to have some popcorn. And I was like, well, gee, I haven't done a watch along for popcorn before. So why don't I just do that? Um, Afro, well, you say LOL, I am too sometimes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just easier for me. Well, the majority of the time, it's just easier for me to just bring it up on a link. But, there are those rare times where I've not been able to find a link anywhere. And I'm sorry for my messy hair, but my hat seems to be looking a little crooked again. I don't know if it's the camera or the hat. So um, it's probably the damn camera. I don't know why all of a sudden that thing's decided that it's going to be funky, but for whatever reason, it does. Um, so I kind of wanted to show off my, may have to stand up here, my new My Bloody Valentine shirt that I just got in from Fright Rags, which you guys can see a little bit of it there. Um, and I'm sorry if I do have to step away a little bit, but Brandon is, my old dog back there. You guys can probably see him back in the kitchen. Um, he has some mobility problems, as I've told a lot of people that come to the streams. And he will literally lay there and bark until somebody picks him up. And he's gotten where he goes into corners and things like that. So I'll try to hopefully have minimal interruptions. I mean, I'll definitely leave the movie going, but I may have to step away sometime, which I'm actually going to have to step away for just a second, guys. I'll be right back. Brandon, did you eat all your food? Pretty close to it. You want to eat the rest of this? That should be good now. Careful now. You're going to have to stand up. Don't you get in that bed and lay down. And like I said, I hope hopefully there will be minimal interruptions during this because it's Sunday night. People got work on Monday, or most people have work on Monday, and so I usually when I do these on a Sunday, I don't like to keep people too late, which is why I start them a little bit earlier. But we'll just have to see how Brandon cooperates with me because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear him barking in the background. Uh, let's see. Hey, Blair. After a while, you say, great show with Uncle Bill. I checked it out. A nice shirt. Awesome. Do your thing? I get a lot for coffee. You say you run around all the time. After a while, do you do a lot of live streams or do you do pre-recorded videos? I do mostly live streams now. I used to do a lot of pre-recorded things and put them on YouTube. Now I do a lot of live streams. But something else I was gonna. I was also gonna say. I also, for those of you that didn't see it on Facebook, for those of you that are not my friend on Facebook, you probably didn't get to see the T-shirt. More than likely, you didn't. But I also got one of those Stop the Killer games for My Bloody Valentine. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. Evidently, you can play it with just one player. I was thinking that you would have to have at least two players, but I guess if I have to play it by myself, albeit it'll be less fun, but I do have that luxury of playing it. So I'm looking forward to that. I did finally open it up. I didn't open it up last night, but I wanted to take a look at it today and take a look at all the little pieces and stuff like that. After a while, you said, nope, just enjoy a few YouTube shows at work mostly. Okay, cool. So I wanted to make another announcement and this is especially for you regulars that have gotten used to me, at least with the Brandon's making a bunch of noise back there. Yeah. Um, for those of you that have watched my streams, my Dinner with De Palma streams, where I talk about the films of Brian De Palma, and for those of you that have been regulars on the There's Something About Tarantino, where I've been talking about the films of Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino. I generally try to do trailers for those. I'm not going to do that anymore. Not that that was causing a problem, but just in case it might, I'm nixing that right now. So, unfortunately, won't be showing any trailers anymore on my streams. I will definitely not be showing any movie clips due to what happened the last live stream I did got cut off, and it was very weird what happened. Hold on, guys. So sorry. I knew this was gonna happen. Friend, here, buddy. Why don't you come back? It ain't right. Good. You know, Oh, but for those of you that were in the heartfelt tribute stream that I did for Paul Kelman, Keith Knight, and Alf Humphreys, who were three of the big players, central players in My Bloody Valentine, who have passed away. I was doing a big tribute to them. And as it turns out, even though these clips and I'm not talking about like half the movie or anything, I'm talking about just, probably not longer than a minute clips at any one time. Um, and they were already on YouTube. Evidently, it's been told to me that it doesn't matter if somebody else has them on YouTube. Everybody can't use them. Okay. So anyway, my stream got nixed. It got cut off near the end of it, and I didn't even know until Texas started letting me know, and then Wes CK from Dead Pit came in and he said, "Oh, Dana's stream got nixed or got cut off or whatever," and so I was like, "What?" Because I used to monitor them. Like I would have the YouTube screen up, and I used to monitor them, but I got lazy and I stopped doing that. Um, and guys, please forgive Brandon barking in the background. If you can stand it for a little bit, I'll let it go for a little bit and see if he calms down. If he doesn't, I may have to go back there and tend to him again. I'm hoping that we can get through this commentary or this watch along with as little disruption as possible. But anyway, I got lazy about monitoring them. So I didn't know anything was flashing up on the screen. Evidently, they told me that I had been repeatedly warned, and I had no clue. So I'm probably going to have to start monitoring them a little bit better. But it was very strange what came up. It did not, I don't think on your guys' end it was saying anything about copyright at all. Texas, you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But Wes actually sent me a screenshot of what he saw, and it said something about deceptive practices and spam, and I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't doing anything deceptive or trying to lure people to my stream by saying it was something that was not. But what actually happened was I had to drill down a little bit to figure out that it was a copyright thing, and it wasn't a strike. I did not get a strike. Originally, it was a warning. And if I repeated the same type of thing, they would give me a strike. But at that point in time, it was a warning. So I appealed it, not thinking that anything would come out of it. But they actually, instead of relying totally on algorithms, somebody must have actually at YouTube actually went and looked at my video, my live stream, and they determined that it did not go against their guidelines, and they said they were sorry for the mistake, and they had reinstated my video. So the video is now back up on YouTube, all up until the point where they cut my live stream. Okay, which was near the end anyway. So Texas, you say it said what you saw. It said copyright violation. What Wes told me was what I eventually saw was something about deceptive practices and spam, and I had to read on down till it said something about copyright. So I can only assume that it was because I was showing clips, mind you, of My Bloody Valentine. And evidently, Paramount or somebody associated with Paramount didn't like that and said, you can't do that. And YouTube cut the stream off. So I went back and I checked my emails and I saw where they had given me the warning, but it wasn't like, as far as I know, there were only 2 warnings. They said after numerous warnings, and I kept doing the same thing. So I don't know how many times, Texas, do you recall that warning popping up there? Was it more than 2 times? Because that's all I knew that it did that. But Brandon, you need to lay down, buddy. Okay, so let me go back and read. I got into this conversation. I was explaining stuff, and so after a while, you say you're a Dead Pit Radio fan, which is cool. I mean, like, I thank CK so much for bringing some more people to my streams by kind of promoting me on their Facebook page. Hey, John. I didn't mean to miss your message there. I was blabbing, of course. It's going okay with me. Getting ready to go back to work, which is kind of a bummer, but we all got to work, right? See, yeah, Everwell, weren't you in one of the last captain's quarters that Steve did? Because I thought you were, and then Steve, bless his heart, he can't remember things. So I asked him about it, and he's like, I don't think so. But please don't take offense, because sometimes he just doesn't pay enough attention and doesn't remember. John, you say, I seriously thought that My Bloody Valentine box was a video game. Yeah, I kind of thought by the comment that you put on Facebook that that's what you thought. It is a board game. Yes. Yes. Blair, you want to know, do I have a favorite horror convention story? I mean, I probably have more than one, Blair. For instance, like meeting Felissa Rose, and I have talked about how nice Felissa Rose was to me when I met her, and so accommodating and so gracious. And meeting Laura Marie Taylor from Girls Night Out and Friday the 13th Part 2, she was very gracious and accommodating and wanted to tell stories about being in Girls Night Out with her husband or the guy that would become her husband. And I just thought that was great. Meeting Dean Cameron and Gary Riley from summer school, and Dean Cameron's also from Bad Dreams and a bunch of other comedy type of films. But Dean Cameron and Gary Riley, of course, played Chainsaw and Dave in summer school. So they were both a trip to meet. So those are my favorite ones, and probably, so sorry, guys. Brandon, please, honey, can you lay down? I'm never going to get to the live show or the watch along if you don't calm down now. You're going to have to calm down. Please. Sammy, go sit down. I promise, guys, Brandon will eventually calm down, but it takes him a while. Sometimes he's got his medicine that helps him sleep in him, so I'm hoping that he will calm down eventually. And also, meeting like Dead Pit, meeting CK and Uncle Bill, meeting Steve for the first time, or as you guys know, the captain, or ST3B. That's another name that some of the old timers to Dead Pit will remember. Meeting that whole crowd, that was and was able to make friends that are still my friends now. Really good, close friends that I never would have met, and I wouldn't have met Steve when they ended up marrying him and all that, So those are the ones that I look at as like my favorite because those are the ones that are hold a special place in my heart and I'm have a particular fondness for. So I hope that's kind of what you wanted to hear, Blair. Um, in Texas, you say, Dana, you should put a fair use thing up on every stream so you may not have that problem. Yeah, I kind of thought about that, Texas, and it just might work, but CK was telling me that basically you can't get by with that shit, or us regular guys can't get by and gals can't get by with that shit. He basically told me they had streams that got paused because they showed a trailer for I think the children. I think, um, and he would. I guess he would know better than me because they've been at it longer than I have. But yeah, I do notice that a lot of people do put fair use, but just to play it safe because I'm starting to get more of a viewership, I guess, and I'm enjoying it. And I sure would hate to lose my channel over something so, in my opinion, minute is that. So just to play it safe, I will no longer be showing any trailers, no clips from movies. Um, and I hope that you guys understand and respect my decision on that and still keep coming to the live streams, even though might be a little bit less flashier than some of them were. Because I really liked including the trailers and stuff like that. But to me, in the grand scheme of things, it's not worth losing my channel over. Um, and I would just rather not risk it. When it comes down to it, it doesn't have a bit in my eyes to do with getting monetized. There's other things that can happen other than you not being able to be monetized eventually. And the big thing for me is losing my freaking channel. I don't want to lose my channel. I've worked too hard to get the the regulars that I have. You don't have to be a regular to be a subscriber. I'm not saying that, but I have not really a fan base because I'm not that big, but I have, like I said, a viewership. People that enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing these things for you guys, and I just prefer not to jeopardize that. And would also prefer not to start from scratch again. Um, I would rather, just keep what I have and just keep building upon that. So Texas, you said it was twice. Okay. So I don't know what they mean by. I guess they think twice is numerous. John, you say I've been watching so many bad Ben movies lately. I'm waiting on a doll to pop up behind you. Yeah. Um, After a while, you say I'm from West Virginia and Kentucky as well. I just moved from Georgetown to here in the frozen tundra. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we we certainly have been pretty frozen around here on and off. I mean, it was warmer today. Today was a heat wave compared to some of the days we've had. Um, Johnny say Dean Cameron seems like he'd be a nice guy. Oh, he was so cool. And the picture, I just adore the picture that we took. I mean, that was not something I asked him to do, kind of leaning his head like that. That was just the coolest. Um, and yeah, he probably would have talked to me a lot longer, but I always, as I always tell you guys, I don't like to take up too much of their time. So I basically, talk to them for a little bit, say how much I appreciate their work, and it's nice to meet them, get my picture, get whatever signed, and, move on. After a while, you say LOL, those are some good ones. After a while, you say it's still a pain in the ass hassle. Yep, you two be hating here lately. Well, you know, I don't I don't understand really why, like, there's one guy that Steve watches that he has clips all the way through his streams. And but he's very popular and stuff. And he's probably monetized. I don't know. Um because he's definitely got the views and he's definitely got the subscribers and all that. So I figure he is. Um but people like a little flash with their stuff, and I totally get that, and I enjoy being able to add to my streams. But unfortunately, um if it puts my whole channel at risk by doing these things, I would rather, play it safe. Well, thank you, Afro. Well, you say congrats on going over 420 subscribers. Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I have what, 425 now, I think. Um, which that's still just a drop in the bucket compared to some people, but I'm happy with it because, I'm like, I never thought that I would get this many subscribers. And that doesn't mean that these people are watching every single video and live that I do, but they were interested enough to subscribe, and that makes me feel good. But again, I'd like to once again give credit to CK at Dead Pit for promoting me on the Dead Pit Facebook page, because I noticed that my numbers went up a bit after he did that. So again, I would like to uh, sincerely thank him for that. Well, thank you, Afro. Well, I appreciate that. Hey, Apollo. She say, hey, Dana, have you seen that 80s UK interview with Sam Raimi where they grill him on how violent the Evil Dead is? Yes, I have, Apollos. I definitely have. And I love the way Sam Raimi handles himself in that interview. Um, you say you watched it 2 days ago and felt so bad for him because he obviously didn't mean harm. No, he didn't. But if you watched it all, you're probably in the same boat as me. How well he handled himself. Yeah, I did feel sorry for him that they were being totally just stupid about the whole thing. Apology say, I'm a fan. There's nobody I can talk to about horror movies in real life. Well, before I, pretty much got involved in the Dead Pit circles and all of that, basically my talk with other people about horror movies was limited. My cousin Jed and my mom early on, and my dad to some extent, and my brother a little bit. But most people outside of my household, um, just like I've said before, looked at me when I started talking about horror movies. Looked at me like I put my clothes on sideways that morning. It's just. But now I feel like I almost feel like I'm home, that I'm really home. Once I met the Dead Pit crew and all the people that were hanging around with them, um, once I got more involved with this side of it, doing the live streams and doing videos and things like that, doing the watch alongs. Um, then I have you guys who a lot of you are Dead Pit fans as well, which is really awesome that we get to share. I get to share with both Steve or the captain and Dead Pit, and Steve's pretty much, he's kind of got an affiliation with Dead Pit. Um, I'm kind of a rogue, I go, I get support from those guys, and I appreciate it. Just like me having Uncle Bill on here. Like I love it whenever, Uncle Bill says, "Hey, get me on there," and just like he did with the offerings watch along. Um, and the Valentine's Day extra credit, where I was talking about other movies other than My Bloody Valentine and X-Ray and things like that, that you could that and Valentine that already have a specific Valentine's Day theme. Um, I just wanted to show people that there were other movies out there that maybe twisted relationships and different things that you could consider watching around Valentine's Day as well. If you're into watching horror movies and thrillers and stuff like that. Um, so I really, again, I don't like to call it a fan base. I mean, you guys can call yourself fans, but I don't feel like I've reached that level where I can say I have a fan base per se. Um, and that's not uh being falsely humble or anything. It's just it's literally how I feel. Um, John, you say, Dana, you should join Instagram. There's a great place to promote YouTube too. I promote the podcast. I'm on there a lot, and I feel it helps, honestly. Um, I think I have joined Instagram, John, but I need to, I guess, utilize it more. Would be the thing. So I'm glad that you brought that up. You say I'd like Instagram just for the pictures and the movie collections people show. Yeah, and I have seen a few of those. Like I said, I just need to learn to get involved with Instagram more and utilize it more. So, Everway, you said what? You can watch that? Are you talking about the Sam Raimi thing from when the movie came out and they were grilling him in the UK? Um, I think when I saw it, it was on YouTube. And you maybe could put Sam Raimi interviews or Sam Raimi interviews about Evil Dead or something like that. Apology say, yeah, he was very calm and collected. The worst thing was when they accused him of only wanting money and rolling their eyes when he said he went into debt making it. Yeah, they were really, those people were pompous assholes. I mean, I'm sorry for being so blunt, but they really were. Afro, well, you say it's a wonderful community and love that I discovered your all shows. Well, thank you, Afro. Well, those small little, knowing that people enjoy it and get some little bit of happiness out of it makes it all worth it for me. Afro, well, you said, thank God I'm a country boy. Exactly. Um, Johnny said, I honestly never use Facebook. Facebook. I feel like it's all but dead. Um, yeah, I mean, I still try to use it, but I just don't feel that Facebook. I think it hit a certain point and it hasn't progressed. It's just sat there, you know, and I think some of the other social media outlets have figured out more creative ways to display stuff, just like you were talking about people talking or showing their movie collections or poster collections or whatever on Instagram. I think people probably use Twitter a lot more than they do Facebook as well. Johnny said, "Yeah, I agreed. It kind of peaked. The groups are still good to have, but I think others passed it. Yeah, exactly." Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to check on Brandon again. Hopefully, this might be the trick to get him to calm down. Brandon, you can't go in there because you keep Daddy away. Yeah, lay down, buddy. Lay down. Be a good boy, okay? Be a good boy. Try to get some rest. Come on, feller. Brian. Try to rest, buddy. Okay, so we've got about 5 in here. Well, 6 now. And like I said, I'm going to get the movie started here in a little bit because in the next couple of minutes or so. Because again, I don't want to keep you guys late, but I did want to make a few announcements about the way the stuff was going to go from now on. So nobody's disappointed when they tune in and Dana doesn't have trailers or doesn't have, um, clips from movies or anything like that. Just boring on me. um, so anyway, um, so is everybody that's watching the movie tonight? Do you need me to put the? Now I know Afrowell's got his own copy, um, but the rest of you, if you're watching it tonight, do you need me to repost the link for it, the YouTube link? I can do that. I did post it at the beginning of the chat, but I can definitely repost it again. Also, if at any point in time, it doesn't have to be right now. If you come in here, if somebody comes in here later, and I try to watch the chat as I'm going through the movie, um, I try to keep track of it in case somebody comes in a little bit later and says, "Hey, Dana, can I join you live on the stream?" Why, yes, you can. If it's a second till the movie's over, I might say, "Well, maybe for wait until um, the next time I do a watch along." Which I don't envision myself taking any more time off from the Saturday watch alongs unless Steve decides to do a commentary with me. In which case, hopefully I can let you guys know in plenty of time, and we'll be good there. So if anybody wants to join me now or in the next minute or so, you can let me know. I can always repost that link as well to come in live on the stream. I can have up to, I think I can have 9 other people on here with me. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean some people might not get kicked out depending on your internet connection. And I know all of us don't have top of the line internet connections. I know, people have had internet issues. Their phone has died if they're using their phone. I know that's happened to Curly Jaws before. Um, and different things. And I know Uncle Bill on the New Year's Evil watch along. He was in here for a little bit, and then I don't know if it was his internet connection or the more people that got on the stream, that caused a problem. I'm not really sure. So I'm not going to guarantee that if we did get 9 other people other than me in here, that the quality might not degrade. Some people might get kicked off the stream. I can't guarantee any of those things, but I always say, come one, come all, everybody's welcome. And unless you're an asshole on here, you have an open invitation to come in here live at any point in time. And you don't have to be on camera if you want to be audio only. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to say, oh, you can't come on here unless you're going to be on camera. So, Averwell, you're queued up. I'm not seeing anybody else that's saying yay or nay. Every way you say, I love the movie partner's pink font, or it's my favorite color. Yeah, I mean, I like that too, and I do like that font. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute this audio first so you guys don't hear that in the background, but feel free to have your audio going. But I'm going to do the countdown, the 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to all hit play together. So 3, 2, 1, press play. So we've got a movie partners up there. And Century Films production. And we're seeing some latex faces in there. And there is the beautiful popcorn. I also like the font that's used for the popcorn title. I like the way it comes in there. Now, I saw an interview with Jill Sholin, and it might have been on Joe Bob Briggs' The Last Drive-In, where she said that she actually replaced another actress in this part of Maggie. And so she really is tired here. She really was sleeping and having to have someone like the director or somebody tickle her feet to let her know when to wake up, because she had just literally gotten off a plane and come in to do this shot. So I guess she was a little jet lagged and all that, because this was filmed in Jamaica. So I always thought that this dream, this nightmare that she's having, is all very creepy. I mean, just the way it's shot and everything. And later, when they watched the Possessor film, I always thought that was really creepy too. This guy is excellent as the, I guess, film cult leader. Oh, sorry, Texas. I didn't wait for you to say you were set. Everywhere you say you want to talk about being lazy. I like watching from my Plex server. It's so nice to just pull up anything I got in any room and TV I go to. Yeah, I mean, Steve and I both have gotten lazy over the years we have so many outlets for movies that sometimes it's just easier just to watch it on a streaming service rather than come back here where our movies are at and pick one off the shelf. If we're already sitting on the couch in front of the TV, it's just so much easier just to pick it, from one of the streaming services. And, we've got Shudder and we've got Prime and we've got Tubi, and Steve did get us the modded a version of Tubi that doesn't have commercials in it, which is nice. And Dee Wallace, since I'm seeing her here in this scene, Dee Wallace is somebody that I've always wanted to meet, and I've seen her at conventions, but have not went up to her as of yet. So this is actually supposed to be the University of California at Ocean View, but it's not really. Because, like I said, they're in Jamaica. Now, this guy here played Eric in Phantom of the Mall. I can't remember. Is his name Derek Rydell? Might be right. Yeah, Afro. Well, you're right. The opener is sort of similar to an Italian giallo film. Text that you say I got it was no problem. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I kind of just kind of went from one thing to the other real fast. Everybody said me too. Love it. Hey, TJ, you say, hey, folks, the original director did all the fake movies in this. He certainly did, TJ. What was that? Was that Alan Ormsby? And Tom Villard, who plays Toby, I always loved this guy in whatever he was in. And really, I think the industry took a big hit when Tom Villard passed away. Unfortunately, he passed away from AIDS, and he was actually sick during the filming of this movie. And there came a point in time when I guess the second director, he reached a point where he had to tell the director, "Hey, I'm sick with AIDS, but I'm gonna do, the best job that I can." And I think he did an amazing job with this. But Tom Millard has also been in some comedy movies. And he was also in My Girl, which is kind of like, I guess, like a comedy drama uh, type of movie. And he's good in everything that I've seen him in. And so I really, as I said earlier, I really think the industry took a hit when he passed away. Now, Bud, the guy in the wheelchair, at the near the front row or in the front row, um, actually was in Christine. He played one of Buddy Repperton's bully friends. I like his character a lot better in this movie. So keep in mind, guys, again, this was all filmed in Jamaica. Now, coming up soon, you're going to see the original actress that played Maggie. Because, as with most movies, they did not film. Hey, and there's Ray Walston, another great actor that we've lost. Not only my favorite Martian, but tons of movie and television. He was in The Stand, the original Stand miniseries. He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, I could go on and on with this guy. But like I said, a lot of films are not filmed strictly in order, as was the case with this one. So you're going to actually not see Jill Schoen in the part where they're cleaning up the theater. You see Jill Schoen there, but when they're actually like sweeping up and getting this place ready for their horror-thon that they're going to have, you will see a second blonde. There is a blonde here now, um, where Jill Schoen is in the scenes. But the original actress was also a blonde. So you will not see Jill Schoen when they're cleaning up. You will see the original actress, the blonde actress. TJ, you say Ormsby. Yep. Bob Clark had to fire him from this. He was an uncredited producer. Yep. Yes, I love it. Using the William Castle gimmicks. TJ, you said, by the way, the blonde Tina, Freddie Marie Simpson, was in A League of Their Own. That is right, TJ. I had forgotten about that. After what you said, I remember renting this when it first came out, and boy, oh boy, I was so happy getting to watch this and to see Miss Connie again, who worked at my local video store. Yeah, I think that's probably where I first saw it too. Was renting it. Um, I'm not sure if, like, I went back to the chat. I'm not sure if they have they showed them sweeping yet, because yeah, I mean, you see Jill Schoen there. The part where they were sweeping up and taking covers off of the yeah, I think that must have been earlier. The first part where they were taking the covers off the seats and sweeping up, that is where you see the original actors for Maggie. But in these, a lot of these scenes, you see Jill Schoen. And I love things like the shot clock and the old fashioned, traditional popcorn machines. I mean, I just really, when this movie came out, I was in heaven. And as Texas said, the old William Castle style gimmicks, which are so great. Apology said, what other films have movies within movies? Demons and Matinee come to mind. Anguish is one. He Knows You're Alone also does as well. That's two I'm thinking of right off the top of my head. Well, you say the ads for this movie were scary even. Yes, they were. On TV made me want to watch. Exactly. So this around this time, they're gonna find and Bud just found it, the Possessor film, which I don't know exactly why, but I found that this little short film that they find, that Leonard Gates, you're going to hear about Leonard Gates here in just a little bit, who was the film cult guru, leader, whatever. So they're getting ready to watch what was his last film. Uh, because the film that he made before that, people laughed at it. And as they're film school professor is going to tell them here in a little bit, Leonard Gates didn't like being laughed at. And so he filmed all of Possessor except for the last shot, and he planned to kill everybody in his family, um, including, of course, his wife and daughter. So, but I always found this truly creepy and almost terrifying to watch. In a way, this was scarier than anything in the movie part of it. Just these little clips here. And I don't know if any of you guys felt that way um, at all. You may just think I'm just out of my mind. Just the actor that played Leonard Gates, this guy was very, very effective with his facial expressions and everything. Oh, wow. So when did she pass away, TJ? Like today or the last day or so? It's like, man, Melinda Dillon. Damn. Lost another one. So the movie was so scary, or that little short was so scary that Maggie passed out. So now their professor is basically telling them about Leonard Gates and what happened. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to be yawning. It certainly does, Afro. Well, I agree. You say, wow, damn circle gets smaller all the time. Every time you turn around anymore, it seems like people that I grew up watching are passing away. So Maggie's mom is wanting them to go away and go on vacation, but she really won't explain why she wants to do this. But we're gonna find out soon. But Maggie's like, I can't, this Horathon's important. I can't leave now. Guys, I'm going to step away real quickly and get me something to eat. But y'all just keep watching the movie, keep chatting, all that good stuff, and I will return. I actually, a little bit earlier, made roasted chicken with vegetables. So I got like roasted chicken with potatoes, carrots, onions, and peas. Um, it's tasting pretty good to me, and I'm hoping that Steve likes it. Love the neon cotton candy tracksuit. Ever well, you say grabbing a snack now and coffee. What are some of y'all's go tos? Uh, as far as snacks, I mean, sometimes it's potato chips, sometimes it's pretzels, sometimes it might be a little ice cream. Um, although I am trying to lose a little weight and eat a little bit healthier, so been trying to eat a lot more grapes and things of that nature, fruits and veggies and stuff. Ooh, Apollo's is making me hungry for stuff that I shouldn't be eating much of. I'm really not eating a snack right now. This is kind of a a late dinner for me. I am always dropping something, I tell you. Apology say, I put a cup of custard with pieces of chocolate in the microwave and then use Kit Kats for dipping. I call it the heart attack special. Yeah, but boy, does that sound good. Every way you say, Paul's, it sounds delightful, but I'm having a two-pound burger and some Pike Peak coffee. Yeah, John, I believe you're right that I believe Bob Clark pretty much ghost directed this too. Even when he pretty much brought the other guy in. The guy um, who is referred to as what, Billy from Porky's. I just love this. I love this whole setup with the for the hearth on. I mean, it would take a lot of work. It really would. But the payoff, and I don't mean a monetary payoff, I just mean the payoff in general, people enjoying it and things like that would be awesome. The blonde is with Mark, the guy that really wants to have a relationship with Maggie. The woman with him played Tina. I know she played Tina on One Life to Live. So we're not really sure if this guy that was just running through the crowd or through the audience there is Leonard Gates or not. We kind of think it might be. Also, guys, I hope my voice doesn't go all the way out. Um, but I've been having, scratchy throat on and off and all that. So it may go in and out. I hope it doesn't go all the way. Yes, you are exactly right. I should have added that replacement Tina on One Like to Live, not the original Tina. Yes, I agree that the sets are really good in this Afro Well. Hey, howdy, little dumplings booked. John, you say I'm not watching long, but just kind of in and out while cooking some. Love popcorn. I watched it a few months back. I think I actually did a few months back too. John, you said the side movies really are better. Just a lot of creativity in those. I think so too, because you could almost believe that these were films made a long time ago. Every way you say, I swear this is a love letter to all the colored lighting and everything Italian giallo films with an American twist. I could see that. Apollos, believe it or not, that Murder by Decree is one Bob Clark movie that I have not seen, but I would like to. I really, really would like to. You say not only is it one of the best Holmes movies, but it's also a better adaptation of From Hell than the Depp movie. Interesting. So Maggie is telling Toby, Tom Villard's character, that she thinks she saw saw Lanyard Gates. And Toby seems a little bit skeptical. So I dropped something again. If I could keep half of my food on my plate, it would be great. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of craft and creativity put into these little short films that comprise the marathon. I absolutely love this. This is great. How much y'all think a big soft drink like that one that guy has would cost now at the movies? Um, let me see here, little dumplings books. 31.55. Sorry, I didn't see that quicker. TJ, you say also. I think the whole movie is a love letter to old films in general. I feel like it is too. Every way you say in that car, quick, grab some Garrett. LOL. You're welcome, little dumplings books. I'm sorry if you guys hear me eating. I really meant to eat before I got on here for the stream, and time got away from me. like I said, Brandon will hopefully settle down at some point, but he's still on the move. Now we're shortly going to see here the first pretty spectacular kill of the movie. Because it looks like somebody else, not just the professor, has remote control device for this giant mosquito. It's not really reacting the way he thought it was going to. Here's another, in my opinion, Giallo element, is the killer having the black gloves on. So it looks like the professor is toast. Brandon. Yeah, I need to. I need to remember to call you Kelly. It is easier, actually. I mean, I think that's a cute screen name or a cute handle. Um, but if I was to be perfectly honest, Kelly is easier to say. Um, so, however well you say, yep, wow, stayed sync the whole time, almost dead on. Well, thank you, for well, you say great movie pick, Evil Dead chick. I was just in a daze wondering what to do until the nightmare watch along. Thank you, fine choice, and glad to be here. Well, you are welcome anytime. Yeah, he's all sucked up. TJ, you say he had a lot of time to avoid that. LOL. Yeah, in reality, yes, he definitely would have. So, everywhere I can could just call you Afro. Okay, if that's cool with you. Kelly, you say I use this name because I want to open a kid's bookstore and use this name. So it's just in case I post content. LOL. Gotcha. That is cool. I think that's cool that you want to open up a kids bookstore too. That is awesome. So it looks like poor Toby got attacked by a pissed off Doberman. Hold on, Brandon. Sorry, guys. Had to step away for a second. It's okay, Brandon. Okay, buddy. You try to relax, okay? Don't try so hard. It's time. I'm gonna step away and take my plate in the other room in the kitchen. So Mark has come back to his seat, and this big hulking guy is taking his spot. And he just got punched out, and Joy, the girl he's with, is a real bitch and doesn't really care about him anyway. TJ, you said the science in this is more high tech than a silly slasher movie. Plus, there are supernatural appearing elements that don't fit. Still, it's fun. Yeah, and I mean, I could be wrong, but part of that is probably due to having multiple directors and having to replace the lead actress so early on. Um, and poor Jill Sholin. And I mean, she said everybody pretty much helped her get settled in as quickly as possible and uh, welcomed her into the fold, so to speak. But you can only imagine how discombobulated that whole situation had to be for her, as well as the other actors and actresses. And actually, the actress who played Joni, um, she was actually rooming with the girl that played the original Maggie. So they were roommates in Jamaica. Brandon, hold on a minute, buddy. Oh, sorry, guys. Brandon is just poor fella. He gets wrapped up in all my cords and come on, buddy. You go lay down, okay? Oh. Guys, I'm gonna have to step away for just 1 second here. Give me just 1 second. No, you can't keep coming over here, buddy. Brandon, you got to go over here and wait. Stay there, okay? Sorry, so sorry, guys, for all the interruptions. So I was just about to miss what will be the demise of Tina. She thinks she's kissing on the professor, but we're soon going to find out that no, this is an imposter. I think this is a really fantastic and sort of creepy shot because just that where the latex was being like chewed away, and then we get some flashes of the actual killer. Now, I know who the killer is now because I've seen this movie more than once. But I did not know who the killer was the first time I saw this. And I'm not going to give it away for, in case there's people in here now that have not seen this entire movie or people that watch this later. Which, maybe all of you that are in this watch along have maybe seen it, but I just like to play it safe. I just think this is kind of funny that she can't tell that something's obviously wrong with Tina there. And Mark even makes the comment that Tina should start eating better. She looks like shit. Kelly, you say if we had a theater that was interactive like this, minus the murders, and played old movies, we'd be there all the time. Oh my gosh, me too. If there was, a place like that around here, I would definitely. TJ, you say it would be interesting to see the different scripts to see how each version might have been. Yeah, maybe make some comparisons. Afro, you say, yeah, I agree. Had no clue the first time I watched. TJ, you said the face reveal here would have worked better if we didn't see him making his face mode early in the movie. Yeah, you're right, TJ. Afro, you say, LOL, Tina is slipping. Ha ha ha, for sure. Another thing that I notice upon rewatching this again is the fact that it's not a super long movie. And I've talked about this before, how it seems like they think almost every movie made now, and not just superhero movies, not just dramas, not uh, just horror films. It's like almost every damn movie they put out, they think it's got to be 2 or more hours long. And I'll be the first to tell you, in my eyes, the they don't have to be super short, but horror films, they're generally, unless it's something really unique, that are over 90 minutes, you stand a real good chance of people losing interest. And again, that's purely my opinion. Um, I don't, what I say or what I do does not dictate the movie studios. They evidently have another idea about it, but I just don't think all movies need to be that long. For instance, Terrifier 2, wasn't it like 2.5 hours long, guys? I mean, why does a movie like that have to be 2.5 hours long? I don't get it. So now, poor Bud. So the killer has taken the face of Tina now. And Bud is unfortunately going to be the next victim here. So the killer has got the shocker thing, shocker board, whatever you want to call it, rigged up that when a certain light goes on, it's going to fry Bud's ass. So very tense here. So Mark's a little worse for wear here. The whole ass of his jeans has gotten ripped out, or ass crack, I guess. I hate to tell you there, Bud. I don't think you're going to get out of this. Oh, the demise of Bud here. And here in a second, when you just literally see the wheelchair go backwards into the wall, is to me infinitely more effective than just showing him jittering there. Because there's just such a finality to it there. After you say, what the hell with 2 hours and 30 minutes or 3 hours bullshit? Exactly. You said that's why I wait for the home release or streaming to watch at home. Kelly, you say, I agree. The longer it is, the more chances to screw it up. That too, yes. After you said, yeah, it needed some trimming for sure. TJ, you said they had a good close up of an audience member wearing a Barnabas Collins mask. LOL. Oh, yeah, I think I remember that now, TJ, now that you brought that up. And here's the, I really like this band too. And if you had any doubt that this was Jamaica, here's a big old clue. Here is this band. Where else are you going to find a band like this? This is very creepy and effective too, in my opinion. Is she at first thinks that's Bud in the wheelchair, kind of slumped over there. I just think, I mean, it's simple, but it's so effective. So believe it or not, guys, we're almost an hour into this movie, and it just felt like it just kind of flew by. Did anybody else feel that way? And shortly, we're going to figure out why the Lanyard Gate story and Maggie's dreams seem so familiar to her. TJ, you said this is like Terror Train in a movie theater. Yeah, kind of, with the killer changing costumes or masks. Well, that's very nice, Afro. You say, so nice I found your channel and these watch alongs are awesome. Well, I am sincerely glad that so many of you guys are enjoying them. Well, thank you too for saying such nice things. Um, so here is the bitchy Joy again. I mean, she's really vicious in this. And definitely the first time I watched this, I found myself really getting into this music. Um, it was just sort of like this band was just a little extra added bonus. I believe that the director, I believe, they always said Billy from Porky's, but I believe his name's Mark Harrier. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but I know there are the movie's flawed. There's no doubt about that, but there aren't too. I mean, I don't think I could name any movie that doesn't have flaws. Even the movies I've talked about that are near perfect movies. So even though I would have to agree that the little vignettes or the movie with the movies within the movie do at many points in time seem a lot stronger than the base storyline. Um, I just think it's still an incredible movie overall. Um, I'm hearing a lot of things from you guys that it has a fondness for you. Um, and I think that is the most important thing with it. Despite its flaws, it still works. This many years after its release, it still has fans. And so no matter how, the trials and tribulations of making this movie, them having to replace the lead actress, them having to replace the director, um, all the trouble that Bob Clark probably had along the way. Um, I think the end result could been 10 times worse than it actually turned out to be. It's a competent movie, in my opinion. It works as a horror movie. Yeah, it's flawed. Um, but feel free to name me a movie that isn't flawed, especially if we're talking about horror movies. Afro, you say, I may live up north now, but I'm from the south and we polite. That's how my mom raised me, LOL, till the day I die. Yeah, and I appreciate that more than you could ever know, Afro, because so many people now, not generally people that come in my streams, but just people in general, aren't aren't polite, aren't nice people. And that saying that it takes a lot more energy to be nasty than it does to be nice. You would think that that would encourage more people to be nice, but unfortunately, no. People would rather be nasty, or a lot of people would rather be nasty. You say West Virginia and Kentucky will always be home for me. Okay, so we aha, so it's Toby. It's not Leonard Gates. Brandon. Come on. I'll be done with this watch along soon, buddy. Just need to calm down. Come on, bud. Let's try to rest. Again, I apologize for having to get up so much, but Brandon, bless his heart, he's really been having a tough time over here lately. With the mobility mainly, and refusing to rest when he should be resting. So Toby is going to explain to her here shortly why he's doing this. No, Brandon, you can't go under my desk. Lay down. Rest. So he's explaining that if we hadn't already figured it out, that Maggie is not her real name, that Suzanne is not her mother, she's her aunt, that she was actually the child of Leonard Gates. And during the whole debacle where Leonard Gates was filming the movie live and planning on killing his wife and daughter on camera, while he did kill his wife, Suzanne shot Leonard and got Sarah, now Maggie, out. But in that ruckus, the theater caught fire, and that is why Toby it looks the way he does and why he is so angry. Kelly, right? You say his ear flapping there is creeping me out, lol. Yeah, that's a little added touch as well. TJ, you say, I like the actors all had to dress like Toby with the fake ears prosthetics. Yeah. Afro, you say, I just like to watch and love all that metal work on his head. Yeah, it's very unique, I think. A unique way, I think, to show a burn victim. I mean, honestly, I don't know how accurate, but it works. Tom Villard is just a master here. There is no denying it. I mean, for those of you that have seen Tom Villard in more comedic characters, to see him really pull out all the stops to create the Toby character, and both sides of the Toby character, this crazed, vengeful Toby versus the Toby you saw at the beginning of the movie, who was affable and friendly and really wanted to do this horrorthon and all of that. But then you have this deep-seated psychotic behavior just waiting to bubble to the surface. And I think Tom Villard is able to pull off both sides of Toby very effectively. Yeah, I do too, Kelly. I really, really like. I mean, I like this character. Actually, both sides of that character, and I also like Tom Villard. And like I said a little bit earlier, when we lost Tom Villard, the industry and his fan base, because I'm sure he had a fan base. I mean, I still consider myself a fan of Tom Villard. Lost a great human being and a great actor, who probably would have went on, if had he lived, to do many, many more amazing films, and his work would have been amazing as well. I mean, really, I mean, let me ask you guys this: like, who actually dresses like that to go to the movies? Like, wouldn't jeans and a nice top be good enough? Brandon. Shh, buddy. Here. This movie's almost over, buddy. I love all these great old movie posters too that they have. This adds a special touch to it. Yep, the melting man poster on the pillar. Yeah, that is one of those classic posters um, that I wanted to reference. Kelly say, yeah, I think a lot of people really respected him for coming to the forefront of explaining his illness. And I know they set up a fund in his name after he died for HIV and AIDS awareness. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And if, you know, what little bit of good can come out of something infinitely so tragic as to you as to lose these young actors in their prime, pretty much, and then even musicians. For instance, Freddie Mercury. And I'm still a huge fan of Queen, but Queen without Freddie Mercury to me is like having Scooby Doo without Scooby Doo in anywhere in the show or the movie or whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me. TJ, you say Villard and Stu Charnow would have been great if they were leads in a comedy. They kind of had the same energy to me. Too bad it didn't happen. That is interesting, TJ, and it would have been awesome. And I kind of wonder why nobody ever thought to do that. So I always thought that this scene here was so funny when Toby's character comes in already dressed like this guy. The look. It's like, and then to get pissed on your leg, that is just so gross, but effective. I don't think I've ever been in a toilet where when you turn the lock, it says engaged on the outside. I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe that's only Jamaican bathrooms in Jamaica. So this chick is in love with Toby. She doesn't know that Toby is actually standing there. Another odd thing is, though, can't she tell that that's Toby's voice? Like, if she's so in love with Toby and knows every single thing about him, um, you would think it would give her a pause a little bit there. But, this is horror movie logic again, folks. After you say that theater looks like the Keith Albee in Huntington, West Virginia, on a much smaller but much smaller, of course. Yeah, TJ Love saves her life, LOL. Pretty much, because yeah, he probably would have taken her out at that point had she not started mentioning being in love with him. Yeah, and completely distracted him and derailed that whole intention there. So, Suzanne disappeared earlier, and we weren't sure what happened to her. Well, now we know that she's got all plastered up. So I think this is where Mark is going to where Toby's apartment is, and he's going to figure out a little bit more. The pieces of the puzzle are beginning to come together about now. So Toby's landlord is none too happy with Toby and the shenanigans going on in that apartment. I think it's also interesting that he was living in apartment number 13. Now we can pretty much figure out that Toby was quite obsessed with Maggie slash Sarah, and we definitely have no doubts about that now. So Mark has figured it out. So he's going to hurry back to the Dreamland Theater to hopefully rescue Maggie. And Toby is queuing up Possessor. And I apologize, guys. There was a commercial in there. I think that's the only one that I've seen. I don't think it delayed me too much. You can tell, unfortunately, that Tom Villard is very frail at this point in time. Um, but, what a trooper to just, I mean, he literally told the director that I'm not feeling well at all, but I want to finish this movie and I want to do the best job that I can for you. TJ, you say you've had about 6 commercials. LOL. Sorry about that, TJ. I think maybe it's just the luck of the draw sometimes with the way those commercials come around on everybody's version. Hey, Dirk. You say, hey, Dana, what's the timestamp? I just woke up from a nap. Jean Roland films tend to do that to me. Actually, we're about an hour and 20 minutes in, Dirk. So you got here to see the grand finale. Or you woke up in time for the grand finale. Afro, you said, mad respect for still wanting to do good and do things that made him happy and others as well. Me too, Afro. Dirk, you say, damn, oh well. Well, you can always feel free to watch it on the replay, Dirk. But I'm glad you did come in. I don't mind when people come in. I just hate that you missed most of the live. But yeah, sometimes we gotta have our naps too, though, with or without Jean Roland. Yeah, Dirk, I thought I remembered it being on Tubi because I think I was having one of my lazy moments and like caught it on Tubi, and instead of going and getting my Blu-ray, I just watched it on there. So we've seen this done a lot of times where the audience, or as in things like Haunted Wing, where there's a haunted house, but there's a real killer in there, where people think it's just all part of the show. And then you have someone screaming that this is real, this isn't fake, he's really going to kill me, or whatever. But this is a very I mean, I don't mind that it's been used in a lot of films in a variety of ways. Um, I think it's unique in the way in the presentation of it, because the way that this is portrayed is not the same way it was portrayed in Haunted Wing. And you could go on and on with different movies. Brandon, you cannot go back there. Sorry, guys, again for the interruption, but poor Brandon, like I said, when he gets this way, he goes in every corner of every room and gets wrapped up in cords if I don't watch him. So I'm kind of trying to keep him from going into corners that he doesn't need to go into. And now he's knocked over my astronaut light, and it ain't even on. Please, can I get through this Watchalong? Hey, can you just hold out for a little bit longer? I'm gonna have to lay down. You need to get off of that before you knock something over. You would love to knock this whole entire shelf over. Guys, so sorry. I think this is the most interruptions I've had during any stream I've done recently, and Almost missed the magnificent, I hate to say death of Toby, but that's exactly what's happening. And the Indiana Jones entrance of Mark to in order to save Maggie. Darren, you say, hey guys, I got sidetracked as well. We'll have to rewatch tomorrow. No problem, Darren. Yeah, Tubi TV is a go-to for popcorn. So another thing that I think makes this horror movie unique, that a lot of other horror movies don't do, and some people may find that a drawback. I don't. Instead of maybe just having one final girl and most everybody else gets killed off, we have several people that lived um, in this one. And so the guy gets his girl too, as well. And here's another dang commercial right at the end of it. Um, so yeah, Mark Harrier ultimately gets the credit for directing Popcorn. And I also like this song, the one that starts out the scary, scary movies on the silver screen. And it has, you can hear chainsaws and you hear some dialogue from this film. I like the way it shows all the characters. That really doesn't get done anymore either, is showing people from the movie as their characters. Kelly Jo Minter has been in a lot of stuff. It's a great Ray Walston and Tony Roberts. And the music composed and orchestrated by Paul Jaja. Uh, I always pronounce it Paul Jaja, but maybe I've heard it pronounced Paul Zaza or Zaza or, different ways. So I don't know exactly what is right, but I've always called him Paul Jaja. Matt Falls, he was the guy that played Lanyard Gates. I think he's awesome. TJ, you say 3 final girls, 1 final duty boyfriend, and 1 final fake mom and aunt. Exactly, TJ. John, you say, yeah, Tubi beats Shutter hands down. If not for Joe Bob, Shutter wouldn't be shit, in my opinion. I don't think it would be nearly as popular as it is, John. You're right. John, you say, yeah, the TV sitcom outro style. Predator is my favorite of those styles of outros. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched Predator. I need to watch that again. Doug, you say any recent releases you're excited about on physical or theatrical? Well, these aren't actually out just yet or haven't been released just yet, but I do have them on pre-order, Dirk. So I'm really looking forward to the Slumber Party Massacre 4K. I know. Feel free to laugh at me for being excited about that one. I'm also, because I missed out on the Turbine 4K release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, unfortunately. Several times I missed out on it. So I'm looking forward to the 4K release of that I've got on pre-order. Also, another one I've got on pre-order is The Exorcist 3 4K. But I did tell Steve I was a little bit confused that we haven't got an Exorcist 4K, but we've got an Exorcist 3 4K coming out. But I like the Exorcist 3 very much. So I'm gonna enjoy it. Johnny says Severin had the worst releases I can imagine lately. Pandemic. Um, TJ, you say I'm going to use my Shutter and watch Skinamarink. Yeah, Steve told me that he was going to watch it, but unfortunately, he didn't watch it this weekend. I did see it was on Shutter, but I've already watched it and did. I don't know if you saw my review that I did for it, TJ, or not. I think you guys will be, like I said in the review, you're going to be shocked by what my take was on it. John, you said the Birdemic trilogy, huh? Yeah, man, those Birdemic movies, damn. Um, Dirk, you say that 2-pack is cool of Slumber, Exorcist 3, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You getting the Slip, Steelbook, or Second Sight? Crap. Dirk, I'm probably going to have to look and see what I am actually getting. It was from Amazon. That's where I pre-ordered it, so it's probably not the Second Sight one, I would imagine. Um, Let me just take a gander here. I probably should have got the Second Sight one, um, but I did not, or I don't think I did. See if I can find this sucker here. I did get the Death Wish 4K. Was it Kino Lorber, I think? And I really enjoyed it and thought it looked good. Okay, here we go. So I think mine is going to have a slip cover, but I know it, yeah, I'm just getting, I think, I'm not getting the steel book. I think I'm just getting the 4K plus Blu-ray that's got the slip cover. Actually, this is the MPI home video version. So yeah, I may, when it all comes down to it and all said and done, I may be sorry that I didn't jump on that Second Sight one. TJ, you said I didn't want to risk spoilers, but I did see how you felt about it. Were you shocked, TJ? um, Afro, you say I got absurd yesterday. Can't wait to watch again. I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre waiting on me. Awesome. Absurd's a good one. Durkee said I pre-ordered the Second Sight but canceled. Not a fan of that art of the big Second Sight. I'm going with the Sally Eye Slip. Cool. You say great choice. Johnny said, I got the Dark Sky 4K pre-order of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I wish Second Sight did US shipping. You always have to go third party with them. Yeah. Kelly say, I'm off to do some homework, blah. See you next time and thanks. You're very welcome, Kelly. Hope to see you next time. After you say I'm a cardboard enthusiast as well. Darren, you said Lovers Lane and The House That Screamed, the 2-hour releases I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I've been hearing several people talk about Lovers Lane actually. Dirk, you say, like I said, John, that Second Sight art sucks of TCM. Johnny says, Second Sight doing UK only direct is just odd, unless it's a legal thing. It's like they want to make it harder for people to pre order. And I'm just wondering if it is a legal thing. If not, that seems pretty foolish to do that. Speaking of foolish, Steve listens to Quentin Tarantino's podcast quite often. And recently they were talking about a movie called The Fool Killer. And so he downloaded a copy and we watched that Friday, I believe. And has Anthony Perkins in it. Really good little film, I think. I'm not really sure what Steve thought of it, but I enjoyed it. I think it came out in 61, maybe. But it's supposed to take place just after the Civil War. And it does have something to do with the axe murders, but the whole movie itself is really good. I wouldn't classify it per se as just whole hog a horror movie, but it is a decent film, and I would recommend it. Johnny said, when I just see region locked or region B, etc., I'm like, okay, I'm out. It shouldn't be this hard to watch a movie, lol. I know that's lazy, and yes, I could get a region free player, but fuck, man. Oh, I totally get that, John. I mean, I do have a region free player, but here's the thing about those. Every region free player that I have got, and I'm not getting the low rent ones. The one we've got for the 4Ks and Blu-rays is 4K. And I mean, it's a Sony. Sorry. Just lost my own train of thought there. Y'all think I'm losing it. But the one we've got for 4Ks and Blu-rays and all that is a Sony. And sometimes the thing will play like a dream. And other times it will freeze and lock up. And I have no doubt that a lot of that is probably due to the modifications, the modding of the player to make it region free. So yeah, I totally get what you're talking about, John. Yes, too much work for a movie, and too much cash to be able to watch a movie, because maybe some people can find cheap modded players, but I haven't been able to find them real cheap. TJ, you say my buddy saw it and said I wouldn't like it because it was avant-garde. I was like, what am I, a dumb peasant? See, and that's one of the things that I said whenever I did my review, that if you felt a certain way about it, it wasn't that you were stupid or not smart enough to get it. It's just people just generally feel differently about it. You say LOL. Anyway, until I see it, I wouldn't know if you would like it or not. John, you say, I think paying total attention in a dark room or in a theater Skinamarink could work. Or Skinamarink could work. I didn't like it, but I get why it worked for many. For me, and I brought this up when I did my review, I think the optimum way to watch that and for it to be most effective is not to watch it in the theater, unless you could be in the theater by yourself. I just think that this type of movie, in my opinion, worked better on a smaller screen, where you could just isolate yourself pretty much. I even said, first time watchers should watch it by themselves. Don't even have anybody in your household watching it with you. To me, I think that would be the most effective, and to have as few distractions as you could possibly have. Darky say I'm region free. It has its benefits. I order Arrow UK because there are more titles and it's overall cheaper than Arrow UK Plus titles that don't have a US release. And I get that too, Dirk. I see kind of both sides of it. Johnny say I want to get the Battle Royale 4K. I think it's region locked, but the 4K is fine. After you say, yep, that's why I made my own server, an easy way to access them. Darky said, I mean, Arrow UK is cheaper than Arrow US. Oh, okay, gotcha. I think I got that. Um, Johnny said, yeah, Dirk, the Region B Arrow stuff, they gave a ton. Lots not here yet. I wouldn't say never, but I just try to avoid it thus far. TJ, you say, I want an overseas 4K of Return of the Living Dead so I can get a version with Deadbeat Dance that's in stereo remastered. There you go. Johnny said, I did get the Martin pre-order from Second Sight, but I had to. I wanted to see the transfer so bad. Yeah, and I probably missed the boat on that one. And see, I love Martin and I love John Amplis and Martin. But it was one of those things that I had on my radar for half a second and then I forgot about it. And actually, I had forgotten about it until you brought it up just now. So, like I said, I probably missed the boat on that. I probably missed out on it. They probably have sold all the copies already. I am, oops, sorry about that. I am waiting, I think it's March when City of the Living Dead's supposed to come out, aka Gates of Hell. Um, the 4K of that. Steve says he doesn't know why I got it because he already pre-ordered a copy, but um, I just wanted it because that's a movie that I've always liked, and I know it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to many people of why I would get something that my husband already has or is already getting. Um, but I just sometimes those extra special things, I just like to have one that is mine, that is truly mine in the grand scheme of things. Johnny say, yeah, like I'm not anti Region B. I just get so aggravated that shit exists. Region locking in general. That's my old man yelling at the crowd rant. Um, Durkee say, I think you can get Martin on Orbit. Maybe I have to check that out. Everall, you say, well, I got to go. I had Uh, thank you and everyone here. Good night. Have fun. Be safe and bless y'all. Well, thank you, Afro, and I hope you come back again for any streams that kind of pique your fancy. Durgy say, yeah, I get it, John. That's why 4K is the shit. You had fun. I can't type either, Afro, so I feel you there. Um, I get a little bit too wavy with my arms, and the next thing you know, I'm hitting my microphone. You guys probably get a big old boom on your side of that. Johnny say agreed. 4K is awesome. Yeah. And guys, probably I'm going to skedaddle on out of here in a few more minutes. I'll stay on here a few more minutes because, we've got 8 people in here right now. And as I always say, I do these early on Sundays because I figure a lot of people are going to have to work on Monday morning, and I don't like to keep them up past their beddy by time. And Steve told me I need to go to bed earlier tonight too, like I'm a little kid going to school. Um, but I am just coming off a week long vacation where I got to stay up as late as I wanted, and I do need to get back in my routine. Johnny said 4K on an OLED is apparently amazing. I only have a LED. I don't think I have OLED. TJ said one day they'll figure out how to region lock 4K. LOL. See, actually, that's funny that you mentioned that, TJ, because me and Steve were having that conversation today, and I was like, "Well, give them enough time, and they'll region lock the 4Ks." And Steve says, "I don't even think they'll. Why would they do that?" And I figure for the same reason they region lock Blu-rays. So Stuntman Mark says it's pretty crazy the difference. Well, I trust Stuntman Mark's opinion. See, you guys are thinking along the lines of me. John, you say, ha, truth, TJ, they will, I bet. Durkee say, I just rewatched Boogeyman 1980. It's been 40 years since I watched it. A German release was great still, or maybe it's just nostalgia. Ha. No, I think that's maybe it's nostalgia for me too, but I think that is a great film. But like, are you like me, Dirk? When the brother of those two girls like sticks his head in and he goes boogeyman, and then the and it goes down his head and it's you know, I always laugh at that. I probably shouldn't laugh, but do you find that funny, or is that just me being super morbid? Darren, you say boogeyman is awesome, Dirk. I agree, Darren. TJ, you say thank you, John. Ha. Yeah, Dirk, isn't that just the funniest? I mean, I I laugh every time I see that, and I know I probably shouldn't laugh, but it's just like he sticks his head in here, boogeyman. It's like what the heck? That's got to be one of the, in my opinion, funniest kill scenes ever. Turkey say, yeah, it's great. So I have a partner in crime there for that particular scene in that movie. But yeah, I definitely could watch Boogeyman anytime. Steve actually has that German release, and that was another one that sadly I missed out on. But if I want to watch it, I just pull out his copy and call it good. Yeah, that's right, Darren. The way he climbs up the house too. Johnny said the Boogeyman. They have a new trailer for a new movie out called that. Yes, they certainly do. I believe old Curly Jaw sent it to me. Um, he sent me something else. I think that was like audio only through Facebook Messenger. I hadn't had a chance to listen to it. Yes, that's right, Darren. That Boogeyman got a 88 films release. Can you still um can you still get a copy from 88 films? Do you know, Darren? Um, I maybe could get my lazy ass and gear and look it up myself. Hmm. Well, I didn't find it just doing a search, but Steve did get this Dragons Forever, but I don't think he got it from 88 Films. I think he bought it from somebody else. I think he has that Righting Wrongs. Oh, they got some more stuff in the slasher collection, it looks like. Maniac. Oh, they got Violence in a Women's Prison. Oh, man. I need to get off of there. Be buying stuff. TJ, you say it's based on a Stephen King story, the Boogeyman movie coming out. Oh, okay. So, I guess I hadn't had a chance to see that trailer yet, or I would know that. Um, the only other thing that I know that was Boogeyman, it was based on the Stephen King story, is this has been a long time ago when Kmart's were still open. I think it was a Kmart then. And I found this 2-pack of college made short films. There was a point in time when Stephen King would sell the rights to some of his short stories to students for $1 and then see what kind of film they could make. And so I think that was the case with this 2-pack that I got. And both of these stories were from Night Shift, one of his short story collections, early short story collections. And it had The Boogeyman, an adaptation of The Boogeyman, and The Woman in the Room. And those were very well done, very well done. So I'm kind of curious to see how this new Boogeyman pans out. Johnny said I had an old VHS of that once, sold it. Danny said it may be out of print. eBay might be your best bet. Yeah, I had to go the eBay route to get Ghost Keeper as well. So I'll look into that. Durkee said the one I have is classic cult collection of Boogeyman. It was 20. Darren, you said that new Maniac 88 Films release is awesome. Do you know, I just saw the cover of it. I didn't look more deeply into it. Darren, do you know if it's got some extras like that even the 4Ks releases didn't have? Texas say I ordered a few Blu-rays from Amazon. One was in a plastic bag and the case was smashed to shit. Oh my gosh. I called to ask them to just send me another case and they're sending me a full replacement for free. Well, I'm glad that they're doing that for you, but man, geez. Do you think that the mail system did that to it, Texas, or heaven forbid that the Amazon would ship something out like that? Texas said, I'm like, okay, then. Johnny say it's on YouTube as well if you want to watch it. Yeah, I might have to check that out. Durkee say, how do you feel about the autopsy of Jane Doe? Oh, golly. Dirk, not really sure if I've actually sat down and watched that one. It seems like Steve has. From 2016. Let's see if I remember it. I think I do remember it briefly, but I don't remember being particularly wowed by it. It was just okay to me. I think Steve might have liked it a little better than I did. I mean, the setup for it sounds, very interesting. Darren, you said there's an extra on it with Bill Lustig on a cable show with the same time Maniac was released, about an hour or so too. Cool. I might have to pick that one up. Johnny said, I'd love to get Ghost Keeper on Blu-ray, but it's expensive on eBay right now. Yeah, it's like I said, if I hadn't gotten the good price on it that I did, I probably wouldn't have gotten it either. Um, I would say just keep looking periodically to see if someone puts it up there for cheaper. Oh, I love those Hysteria Continues commentaries also, Darren. Oh, man. TJ, you say you can still do that dollar for a story thing with King. It's called Dollar Baby. Okay, I wasn't sure if he was still doing that or not. Texas said, nah, it was delivered to me that way. There was a sticker on the bag that said, thanks to you, this product has a second life. What the fuck? Holy crap. Jeez. Darren, you say I ripped a copy of Ghost Keeper onto DVD. Yeah, that's another a very viable option as well, Darren, and probably the cheapest option at this point in time. Darky say, is that Maniac different than the Blue Underground release? There's tons of shit on it. Um, I I don't know. I mean, as far as a transfer, I don't know, Dirk. Um, but just based on those couple of things that Darren told me about it, I'm really thinking about getting that. I'm actually going to bring this up and look at it in more detail. It is a 4K restoration. I think a lot of this stuff is, from the previous releases, with the exception of the things that um, Darren brought up, from what I can tell. I think I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart. Nothing wrong with being cheap. I would probably benefit from being a little more cheap, actually, Darren. So nothing wrong with that. Darren, you said there's lots of new extras on Maniac. Darky said the special features on the Blue Underground is packed. Yeah, it certainly is. John says Blue Underground releases are awesome. And Blue Underground releases are one that I don't have nearly the problem shelling out $30+ for. And that's exactly why, because not only are the transfers great, but they're packed with extras. And so I just feel like you're getting your money's worth with those. When you order a Blue Underground release, you're getting what you paid for. Uh, that's totally my opinion. People might disagree with me, but we'll just have to agree to disagree there. Um, I, every Blue Underground release that comes out, if I like the movie, I'm not going to be one of these people that just buys movies just because, just so I can say I have them. I have to like the movie, or it has to sound really good. I'm not just going to buy every movie a particular company puts out just because they do great work. But I will definitely have repeat purchases from a company that I trust for movies that I enjoy. Johnny said, my hope is that Synapse and Blue Underground and Kino and Vestron Arrow, etc., outlive Severin and Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, it's definitely getting to that point. Definitely getting to that point. Darren said, Dana, make sure you order it soon as there's a cool slipcover poster and booklet. Yes, sir. I saw that, Darren. Yeah, definitely wanting to get that. It's a limited edition, right? I thought that's what it said. Durkee say House on Straw Hill is a high rec. The Severin release has an extra disc about the video Nazis called Ban the Sadist Movies. Yeah, it seems like Steve has House on Straw Hill, and I think it might be the Severin release. Johnny said, I like Vinegar, but it and Severin having that gimmick of putting out shitty movies will eventually wear out. Only so many Cinemax films. LOL. Dougie said, that's 88 films. Yeah, they're the ones that have that Maniac release. Darren's already got his order in. He said, yes, limited, cost me £20. Yeah, I got to figure out how much that is in United States dollars. Oh, man. So, guys, I guess I'll stay on here until 9, and then I'm going to, head on out of here before Brandon, bless his heart, gets stirred up again. But I've still got about 10 minutes that I can hang out with you guys because, we're having a pretty good conversation after the movie about movies in general. Oh, you've had yours since Christmas. Got you, Darren. Johnny say 88 film prices seem good from what I've seen. Yeah, I don't feel like that any of their stuff is overly priced. Durkee say it sucks you don't get free shipping in the US unless you spend 150 pounds. Yeah, there's always drawbacks in there. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Unfortunately, my blood sugar has been going down quite often, so I knew I was doing a lot of yawning. So to me, I don't know with other diabetics, but with me, that's usually a good indicator that if I'm yawning a whole bunch and it's not really super, super late, it's usually a good indicator that my blood sugar is going down. So TJ, here's the answer, ma'am. A pound is $1.20. Okay. I did not, John. I did not get anything from the recent vinegar sale. Johnny said, I did, and I still want sidekicks once it goes down. Maybe Frostbiter out of curiosity. But I know that movie has to be a giant turd, huh? Well, I have been guilty more than once of getting films that people probably consider giant turds. And if truth be told, like Horror House on Highway 5, stuff like that I've gotten on freaking Blu-ray, they're turds. I mean, I'll be honest. Um, but something compelled me to buy them and watch them. Steve says, why? And I'm like, I've gotten to the point where it's like, why is why? Just roll with it. Because Dana's going to buy the craziest movies ever on Blu-ray. I mean, hell, I bought Doom Asylum from Arrow. Durkee said, I grabbed 3 from Vinegar Syndrome, Knocking, Girl School Screamers, and Fade to Black with the slip. Awesome. Under 50 for those 3 during the sale. That's not too bad. So, while we got a minute here, I'll come back and I'll read y'all's stuff. But I kind of wanted to show off my Bloody Valentine board game real quick, so I'll be right back. In case there are some of you that are maybe on the fence about buying one of these Stop the Killer games, but here is the box. I'll show you a little bit of that. But I considered not opening it at all, but then I thought, what the hey, I might want to play this. So here is the here's the actual game board. There. And there's your game guide. They have a video tutorial on how to play the game by scanning the QR code. I have not done that yet. On the other side, there are a couple of reminders. Did you run out of hearts? Did you use the Chief Newbie Save badge to block yourself from being killed by Harry? Here's Harry's path, because not only, do the characters have to move their pieces, but somebody has to be in charge of moving Harry around the board. So this is his path. So my little roadblocks and my people, the little punch out things here are starting to come out of there. But here's the game pieces. There is an expansion pack, but I'm not sure that us regular Joes can get the expansion pack. I don't know if that was just for people that put in money to the Kickstarter or not. But I do have Mayor Hanniger, Sarah, Mabel, and TJ. And there's Harry down there. There's the Chief Newbie Star. You've got all these different roadblocks that you have to put on the board at various places. Here is the spinner that determines whether Harry kills you and you lose. You kill Harry, or you're still fighting and you spin again. I believe this is to shake the dice around and throw them out, kind of like Yahtzee or something like that. But this one is really cool. Has My Bloody Valentine, the game on it. I thought this was cool too. The little bag with the dice and the little holders for your little game pieces. Says Madam Maybell's Laundrette. Laundrette. I thought that was neat as well. And then you've got your cards. Okay, so I'm going to put all this stuff back in here. I thought about kind of trying to play the game myself, but I probably won't do it tonight since it is late. Make sure I put things in the right areas here. Don't permit me a little indulgence here putting my little stuff back in there. There we go. John, you say, Dana, I'll watch Rocktober Blood or Final Examining Day or some Caligula box set or Invisible Maniac. Did I tell y'all, or did you watch Steve when he was talking about getting Invisible Maniac? I can't believe you got that. Darren, you say Fade to Black is awesome, Dark. I think that's one Dana's not fond of. It is one I'm not fond of, Darren. You're right, but I wish it was, because this should be right up my alley. And I've said before, I just don't understand why I find the movie so slow. John likes Fade to Black a lot. Fergie said, yeah, it's great. The other two were 10 apiece blind buys. Darren, you say you're thinking of getting that game. I missed out on the Silent Night, Deadly Night game, which was the first one of these Stop the Killer games. They may be sold out of those now, but I didn't want to miss out on the My Bloody Valentine, which is the second one. Well, thank you, Dirk. You said that's killer, Dana. Yeah, probably if I was smart, I would keep mine sealed, but I just have to be one that wants to play the damn game, so I open mine up. Danny said, that does look cool. Mine fair play. So anybody else have anything that they wanted? Man, we still got 9 people in here that wanted to bring up anything in these last couple of minutes before I get off of here. I know I kind of wasted some time showing my new My Bloody Valentine game. Johnny say you'd like the Grady Hendrix books, the Final Girls support group, and the vampire one. Cool. Those sound interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Both good. Durkee said that Maniac from '88 comes with the poster. I didn't see it just now. Johnny said the Final Girls one is like a homage to slashers. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. I don't think I had heard of those particular ones. We actually, I was glancing back at Brandon. We actually have a brace, a leg brace on Brandon that we thought would help with some of his mobility issues. It's helping some, but I told Steve that basically Brandon's going to have to learn to walk again because since he's been having these issues, I've noticed that he's not exactly putting his foot flat down. He's trying to walk a totally different way that's causing his legs to cross and to cause one leg to go out to the side. And I'm sure part of it's the dementia and part of it's just, the fact of him getting old. Darren, you say, yes, Dirk, nice poster with it. Darren's making me want that really, really badly. So, guys, it is now 9 o'clock, and I hate to go when there's still so many of you in here. I'm going to read Dirk's message there. Oh, okay, cool. I've been spending too much lately on old out of print titles. Not a lot of new releases I'm excited about. I think Dirk's kind of in my world a little bit. But as I said, now it is 9:01. I think I am going to skedaddle on out of here for the night. I want to thank everybody that joined me for this popcorn watch along. Uh, Never fear, Darren, Dirk, for getting in here later. That is totally understandable. You can watch it on the replay. Because I don't think I did anything that's going to get it taken off of YouTube. So you should be able to go back, queue up your movie, and join right along with it. You have a good one too, Darren. And on that note, as I said, I am going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night now.